What is up, YouTube? Silver Baggins here, and this is my video on silver stacking for beginners. Thank you so much for watching my video. I sincerely appreciate it. This is silver stacking for the newbies. If you're sort of new-ish to silver stacking or you're a total beginner, then this would be a great video for you to watch. It's got some thoughts on it, sort of some frequently asked questions, some stuff that I was wondering when I first started stacking that I wish I saw a video on, so that's why I'm making this video. One thing I'm going to be doing differently that I don't normally do is normally I like to talk through my hands for the whole video, but this one I'm just going to let you look at all of this silver here. And I might poke a hand in every once in a while, but for the most part, I just want you to be able to enjoy the silver I have in front of you while I talk. So let's get right into the video. The first thing that I was wondering when I very first started silver stacking, and by the way, there's no right or wrong way to stack silver. It's basically all based on what are your goals. What are you trying to accomplish? And that will determine how you stack. I always say stack what you like, and that basically means stack as far as what your goals are. So no one can tell you you're stacking the right way or the wrong way because they've got different goals than you. What kind of silver is available to be purchased? So there is constitutional silver. A lot of people call it junk silver, but it is U.S. currency that's quarters, dimes, and half dollars older than 1965. And I got a little bag of that here. And you can also buy, American Silver Eagles. Those are backed by the United States of America government. I have one up here at the top. Those are very cool. And a lot of people like to stack those. You can buy coins from other countries. Lots of countries around the world have silver coins that you can buy. You can buy silver bars like this one here. That's an Engelhard bar, 10 ounces. Those are very cool and collectible. You can buy generic silver. So just silver rounds that aren't from a country. It's just a private mint that makes silver. And a lot of times that's going to be the cheapest silver you can buy. You can buy slabbed silver like this one here. Which is basically silver that has been graded by a company. That one is PCGS, one of the big grading companies. And so you're basically, when you're buying that, you're kind of buying the container in a little bit, not necessarily just the coin or the piece. So when you're first starting off, I would highly suggest sticking away from that. Definitely when you're first starting off, before you learn more about it and can kind of understand it and why people buy that. Another thing you can buy is poured silver. I got a piece right here. That's my Silver Baggins from the International Silver Syndicate. Poured silver, you should know, generally has very high premiums. And if you're the sort of stacker that's just trying to buy silver as cheap as you can, then that's not really going to fit into your goals. But it is very fun and cool conversation pieces. So sometimes it's fun just to buy one or two. But anyway, so yeah, those are kind of the different options of silver you can buy. There is other stuff. You can buy like silver artwork statues and stuff, poured silver that's been casted. That's really cool. There's smaller bars. There's fractional silver from private mints, not just constitutional silver that's fractional. But when I say fractional, that means less than an ounce. So able to be broken up more than 1 ounce. You can buy big pieces of silver. You can buy a whole kilo. That's a little over 32 ounces of silver. Most of these here are all 1 ouncers. So these big ones here are 5. This is another 5 ouncer. So you can buy big pieces of silver, little pieces of silver. I would really strongly recommend when you're first starting off, just buying 1 ounce coins or rounds or constitutional silver. When I say 1 ouncers, basically, I was in a coin shop, my LCS, that's a local coin shop, and I had an old timer come up to me and he goes, son, when you buy silver, only ever buy it in 1 ounce. And I was kind of like, why? Why does that matter? Well, basically what he's referring to is that the bigger pieces of silver, like kilo, 100 ounce, whatever. Those are harder to buy at once, right? It's a lot of money. So if you're selling that to a coin shop or to another person, you're probably not even going to get spot. You might get under spot for a big piece of silver like that. However, the 1 ounces, generally you'll get spot. For me, actually, my local coin shop buys American Silver Eagles at $1 over spot. So those hold a little bit of a premium. So let's talk premiums and spot price. So if you're a beginner silver stacker, then you got to understand that the spot price of silver changes all the time throughout the day. I mean, you could go into the coin shop, and from the time you walk in till the time you actually check out, the price could go up a little bit or down a little bit. And so, my coin shop, they have a little price checker which updates every 8 seconds, and they can tell me what the spot price of silver is. And then if there's a premium attached, that's what you pay, right? So if they sell the American Silver Eagles for a $3 over spot premium. So if the spot price of silver is $15.50, you're going to end up paying $18.50 for an American Silver Eagle. So that's kind of how that works for buying silver. So yeah, I want to talk about why people silver stack. And that will kind of help you determine what your goals are, what you want to purchase. So people stack silver for a lot of different reasons. And if you're just starting out, maybe you don't even know why you want to stack silver. You just think it's fun and cool. And maybe you saw a video on YouTube. Maybe you're watching this video and you're like, wow, I would really like to own a lot of silver. It looks like fun. Well, it is a ton of fun. But people actually do have very specific reasons why they stack, and that might change over time. One of the reasons people stack silver is as a savings, right? It's kind of hard to sell your silver fast and then spend it, so it makes it easier to save than if you just had money in a savings account in your bank, right? Like all this silver here, I could take down to the coin shop and sell it to them and convert that to cash, but that takes way more effort than just pushing a button on my phone and moving all the money from my savings to my checking, and then boom, it's gone in 10 seconds, right? So people stack as savings, also as a hedge against inflation. As the buying power of the US dollar goes down, hopefully the silver will retain its value and worth, and you won't actually lose money. I mean, think about when you used to be able to buy 3 hamburgers for $1. Now you can barely buy 1 burger for $1. And, even if you can, I'm sure it has less beef on it, right? So the buying power of dollars with inflation and everything goes down over time. Hopefully the silver will retain its value, and that is a good hedge against inflation. So people stack for that. People also stack for SHTF, stuff hitting the fan situations. That could be either like a natural disaster or major financial crisis, the economy just absolutely tanking and they want to have money, or maybe even hyperinflation. That could be a crisis as well, where your money, your paper money basically becomes worthless. But if you had stuff like silver, gold, or commodities, that would retain its value. So that's another reason why people stack silver. People also do stack it just as a hobby because it is fun. They like to buy different pieces of silver. I think it's incredibly fun. One of my favorite pieces of silver is this. This is the Mexican Libertads. This is one of the older ones, and it does have the lettering on the edge here. I think these are so cool. If I ever see these at my coin shop, I have to pick them up because they're one of my favorites. But anyway, set that aside. So let's get back to why people stack. So once you've decided why you want to stack silver, then you can sort of come up with your silver stacking goals, right? And then what you buy is going to be determined on your goals. So if you want to just save money, then you probably want to get silver as cheap as you possibly can. So what you're going to want to buy would be generic silver, silver bullion. Definitely get all the spot deals online. A lot of online companies offer where you can buy silver at spot, which is super awesome. You probably also want to buy constitutional silver because that usually has a really low premium attached. So if that's your goal, then that's probably what you want to buy. If you want to buy for a SHTF situation, then you probably want government backed. You're going to want to stick to, American Silver Eagles, Constitutional Silver, stuff like that. One thing I didn't talk about before was people do flip silver, which means they buy it and then they wait a certain period of time and then resell it, hopefully for a profit. And those are more short term, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years for flippers. And they can wander into the high premium stuff, definitely, or the collector stuff. Let me give you an example. Usually, Chinese silver pandas go up in price every year. The older they are, the more that they're worth because they're harder to find, and collectors will pay more for the older stuff. So if you buy Chinese silver pandas this year, and then wait 5 or 10 years, they'll probably will go up in price. It's not a guarantee, but that's sort of how it's worked in the past. So that could be one thing to flip, or you could be buying graded stuff to flip, such as slab silver like this. This is actually a MS69. This is the only piece of slab silver that I have. MS70 would be a perfect grade, so this is one away from a perfect grade. This was actually given to me as a gift. I didn't buy this one, but so that's something you could buy if you're a flipper. Or you could just be the hobbyist, a silver stacker that likes to buy silver for fun. They enjoy it. And in that case, you can literally buy whatever you want. You could buy a ton of poured silver. You could buy just silver coins, try and get one from every country. You can do literally whatever you want because it doesn't really matter. You're just doing it for fun, right? So those are kind of, why people stack, and then goals and what they buy based on what they're, trying to do. So, if you're new, I would suggest trying to figure out definitely early on why you want to stack silver, and then what you should be buying. Another thing you should know is how to buy silver and where to buy it from. So if you're absolutely brand new, I would highly suggest not buying silver from eBay or Craigslist or anything like that just until you can get more comfortable, because you could get burned. People have bought fake silver. They've paid way too much for something that's not worth what they're paying for it. So I would suggest sticking with large online bullion dealers such as JM Bullion, Provident Metals, APMEX, or a local coin shop. So you could just Google, coin shop or silver bullion dealer, figure out which one's closest to you, and then go in and talk to them. So that's one way you could not get burned and taken advantage of. You still could get taken advantage of in the sense that you pay too much because you just don't know, but you're probably not going to get fake silver going with a reputable dealer. And also you could, talk to them and just sort of figure out pricing and see if they have any sales and stuff like that. Just kind of as a frame of reference, I would never buy an American Silver Eagle for more than $3 over spot. That's what my local coin shop sells them for. I've got another one down the road that sells them for $2.50 over spot. So, if they're trying to charge you like $5 or $6 over spot for American Silver Eagle, you're probably getting ripped off. And if you're buying them online, I would wait for a deal to come around where they have them on sale, or maybe you have to buy 10 or 20 of them to get a lower price. Do that, just save up and get the lower price. Also, buying online, what a lot of people don't realize is if you pay by check, you can save money. Usually it's about 4%. So don't buy with a debit card, credit card, PayPal. Just pay with a check, and then they'll let you do e-check at some point, and you can save the 4% that way. So that's something you should be aware of, definitely, so you can get the lowest price possible. Another thing for silver beginners is you don't really want to tell people that you're buying tons of silver, because that does put a target on your back. And, especially in a crisis situation, people will know that you have silver, right? So if you tell all of your friends and then they tell all of their friends, and then soon a bunch of people know you've got silver at your house, and you could be a target. And then especially if you're posting videos online, don't share your address with people, stuff like that. If it's someone who's selling silver and they're reputable and stuff, then that's different than just kind of broadcasting, hey, this is where I live and I've got a bunch of silver and maybe gold too at my house. So yeah, don't put a target on your back. Definitely, if you're a beginner, that's something you do not want to do. So I think that's a lot of the stuff I wanted to cover in this video, sort of frequently asked questions for new silver stackers. We talked about the options, where to buy, kind of goals you could have, why you should buy silver, and some safety stuff as well. One thing too, if you're a beginner, is you might notice that most of my silver here is in containers, airtights. Look at the ones that aren't in containers. Look at this one. This one is not in a container. Look how toned it is. This is super cool, actually. This is, people call this a toner. It's got some crazy toning. This is from the air or light, stuff like that. And so if you don't want your silver to tarnish and look like this, then you can get airtight containers for it. Or a lot of times it comes from the mint in capsules, and just leave them in that. Also, if you touch this with your bare hands, the oils on your hands could leave some crazy colors. So that is something to be aware of. You should wear cotton gloves. If you're a beginner, don't wear the latex gloves or silicone, plastic, or whatever. Use cotton gloves. It's a natural fiber. That's going to be better on the silver. It won't tarnish as much or at all, hopefully, if you're wearing cotton gloves and you handle the silver. So anyway, those were the sort of thoughts I wanted to put out there. Definitely let me know in the comments if I taught you anything new, or if I was able to help you out, just sort of figure out what you want to do as far as silver stacking, or give you some good advice. Also, I would love to see some comments on stuff that I missed. Advice for new silver stackers. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. I sincerely appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and comment down below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Silver Baggins out.